All right, Sarah, this is kind of unscripted because we don't have a script because we're welcoming you as the first club member to the Growth Club. And I thought it would be valuable for anybody that's on LinkedIn that's watching this live or in the future to get to know you a little bit as you continue to help us impact the future of franchise development. So let's start with you. Let's start with your story. Tell us about your franchise story. What is it? How does it look? How did you end up here?
We're rounding out about 20 years in the franchising industry, officially 17. I got my start with the Anytime Fitness brands, aka Self-Esteem brands. So shout out to them because they really did give me a great start in this industry. I also worked for them, and I worked lots of hats when I started. I did everything from citing sources for the real estate team, calling leads and pre-qualifying leads, and then Tom Gillis, he's still there. He was my boss, and he promoted me about 4 years in, and I started selling Anytime Fitnesses. So the rest is history. I ended up going to another company called Zips Dry Cleaning, which was interesting because it was completely different from Self-Esteem brands. It was a pretty interesting case study as well, just because they were a 20-year-old brand. And I got to work with them for 3 years, and I learned a ton as well, just kind of a lot about really what not to do in organizational management, and just trying to figure out how do you take a really successful brand and grow it, even though it's been around for 20 years. So I learned a lot about marketing and public relations and stuff like that there. And then I also worked for Hand & Stone Franchising. And I really loved the concept. For me, it made the most sense because I was in kind of that industry for a long time. I was kind of picturing, what does my perfect day look like? And a lot of the times with franchisees, that's what I talk about is, this becomes about lifestyle, because a lot of these people, they've been working so hard in the corporate atmosphere, and they really want a lifestyle change. So most people, they want to make money in franchising. But for me, what I've learned is that they really are looking for the lifestyle that they desire. And so that's what I was looking for in Hand & Stone. It took about 6 to 7 months to go through the process, but my family and I did end up buying and purchasing a Hand & Stone in 2021. And we actually opened in 2022. So it's already been a year and a half, and the spa is going great. My sister's running it. And I've been kind of looking to really help more people. And so that's where you and I came together. And I really am excited just about learning about new concepts and working with a multitude of different brands instead of just focusing on one brand. I'm also a mom of 2. I'm super into activities outside, nature, etc. And I ultimately just love entrepreneurship, and I love helping people accomplish their goals.
All right, so a few follow-up questions. So you fall into franchising just like every human being does. There's the rare individual that grew up in a system and said, I always want to be in franchising. But for most of us, we fall into it. When you go back to like early stages of qualifying candidates, I would imagine at the beginning you don't really know what you're doing other than asking them about financial bandwidth and where do they want to open. Like, you're collecting data and information. But even in those stages, like, it's got to be frightening for the candidate to get on that call, because are they doing a job interview? Are they purchasing something? Like, are they going to switch a career? Are they going to invest their life savings into a business? Like, as you think through the journey that you've had helping candidates, what are some of the insights that you've learned about their fears and things that they have to overcome?
Well, yes, most of them, and most of the candidates that I worked for or worked with, they didn't have millions and millions of dollars. So you're right about them using their life savings to invest in a company. that they believe is going to take care of them. And I think that really the biggest fear is that they don't connect with the company and they don't fit in the culture, and they kind of get pushed to the wayside, because what I've seen is like the top 20 franchises in a system, they get all of the starlight, right? They get all of the bells and whistles, and we're always talking about them. But what happens to the people that are still in and doing a great job and making money and don't get that attention? So I think that a lot of fear comes with just like anytime you start a new job or start anywhere new, it's like, am I going to fit in? Is this going to work for me? Am I going to love the people that I'm going to be committed to for 10 years or more?
Yeah.
But also, they want to have a return on the investment, right? If they're going to take their life savings, you have to show them, all right, this is how you can make money. And a lot of times, it's not just a one and done. I think in franchising, if you're going to do this and you want to make some really good money, you have to buy multiples. And so it's that fear of like, oh my gosh, this is my life savings. What if I use all my money and this doesn't work? That's the biggest thing. So,
well, that probably happens. That happens because especially in the broker community, brokers are commissioned once in the way that the structure works. So they, a multi-unit deal, they're going to get paid more on that deal. Therefore, they convince the candidate, well, swallow up 3 or 5 or 10 or 20, which is fine. But if you look at the history of whether those development agreements come to fruition or not, like I would guess 9 out of 10 don't. And so what happens is the franchisee has deployed more cash for protection of land or land rights, and is left wondering, like, how do I go from 1 unit to 2? But I think there's a big insight on what you said. It's like the top 20 are the ones they know how to operationalize a business. They are really the
they're the stars,
Well, they're the exception to the rule, right?
They are, yeah.
Yes, because 80% then are trying to figure things out, like, how do I build wealth for my family? And there's totally something that needs to go against that. So,
yeah, and it's like, I think the spa is a really good example because it does sound very glamorous. And I thought, even though I was selling it for a year and a half, I thought it was a little bit more glamorous than the ins and outs. It is a grind. We're there, my sister's there 70, 90 hours a week. And so I think that it's really important to talk to the candidate about, what are you actually going to be doing? And do you actually want to be a middle manager in a retail center? Do you really want to do that? Right. Do you have any idea what that actually entails? So having those deep conversations that even go beyond the EBITDA and the financials is like, this is a great business, because a lot of companies that I sold, they're really low failure rates. This is a great business and you're probably going to make money, but are you going to hate your life doing it? Like actually doing the task every day? So things like that, I think, are really important to talk about.
Well, and this is where, like, one, we're excited to have you on the team. 2, I think your backdrop and your ups and downs in franchising, you understanding how the candidate works, like, all of these insights are going to be deeply valuable as we continue to shape what does Growth Club look like, and how can we have the best and highest impact for those candidates that are coming into the system. So looking forward to continuing to gain your insights, but glad to have you on the team, Sarah.
Thanks. I'm really excited about this next venture with you guys, and I think I'm going to learn a lot and hopefully help even more people.
And there it is. It's public. It's out there. You've joined the Growth Club.
Yes. I'm excited. You can call me. You can find me on LinkedIn. And if you're interested, let's chat.
There it is. Sarah, welcome to the club.
Thanks.